A good evening, everyone. This is your girl Annette from DALS Credit Solutions. Today is Tuesday, January 11th, 2022, and we're on live using StreamYard. So, welcome, everyone. Come in, share, click like. If this is your first time tuning in, please place in the comments where you are tuning in from. If you are watching a replay, make sure you put in hashtag Credit Tip Tuesday replay. And I will begin by saying thank you for everyone who prayed for me, looked out for me, sent me text, phone calls while I was battling the vid. Oh, Jesus. Um, I am slowly but surely progressing. And as everyone log in, tune in, I'm asking um, individuals to please make sure that you bring a pad, pencil, uh, eraser, recorder. I will send these slides out. When I did this last week as well, um, I was unable to be seen. So I'm very grateful to be here as we log um, you in, as you log in, excuse me. So, again, if you are watching for the first time, please place in the comments where you are tuning in from. I will be very grateful to know. I thank everyone that always come in and support Credit Tip Tuesday to get the feedback, build themselves for free, and gain the knowledge. I am trying to share this and also share this with other groups if you are able to, so they can get the knowledge as well. So, as people are logging in, last week we had a Credit Tip Tuesday on statement closing date versus payment due date. And when it comes to credit cards, many people get this confused. I'll pose the question in Black Girls Have Good Credit Too. If you're not a part of that, please join. Make sure you answer all the admin questions prior to being accepted. So we talked about statement closing date versus payment due date. And there are a lot of mixed conceptions, along with theories, along with do everyone understand overall processes of credit utilization. And as we're going to get started shortly, as everybody is logging in, I hope everyone is staying safe. I am slowly but surely getting over the vid. Kind of beat me down. I told y'all before when I came back on, she is a female. I am doing better. Thanks for asking. Let me see. We got some people. Hi, everyone is tuning in. Well, hello. Look at y'all. Let's see. I am getting. Thank you so much for everyone that is sharing at the moment. I greatly appreciate you. We are going to get started as we get this true knowledge of, is it true that we can utilize the entire credit limit as long as we can pay it by the statement date? So these were questions that was asked, and I will be getting started shortly. Again, if this is your first time tuning in, make sure you put in the chat um, where you're tuning in from. If you're watching a replay, please put in the comments hashtag Credit Tip Tuesday replay. So I thought this was being shared to a couple groups, but I will give people time again to log in. And again, this is also the time if you have any questions about your credit. I'm going to do some housekeeping rules. The goal for Credit Tip Tuesday is a safe space platform in order for you to ask any questions while I am on the platform. If you're watching a replay, you also are able to place the questions inside the comments to be answered. Once you come inside my messenger or send a text, I will direct you to my website. This is a safe space, no judging. This is for you to grow, expand, and become familiar on how money works, how credit is utilized, and how it will allow you to move forward in growth in life and business. So just wanted to put that out there. And again, you can ask any questions you would like. If I can't answer them and I ask you to um, shoot me a message, please also put that in the message when you send it to me, to say you directed me to send you a message, so I won't send you to my website. Hi. Oh my God, your candles smell. And Internet Fry, I appreciate you so much. I have your candles. I lit one and I'm like, really, it still is burning. So, I am grateful for candles. I am a big candle fan. So um, shout out to you. Very impressive. Very good looking candles as well. Um, I love a lot of smell and anything that can keep the house burning and allow me to stay at peace. I am grateful for you. Um, we will get started as people are logging in. So again, last week I had a credit tip Tuesday, but I was unable to not only display my face in the slides I created. So I want you guys to get a feel on. The question is always asked: is it okay for you to spend your entire credit limit as long as you pay the entire amount back on before the statement closing date? So I put some slides up here to let you know what we're going to go over. We're going to go over the definition of statement closing date and payment due date. As you're swiping your card, we get a sense of, okay, yes, we got a credit card. We're going to have some fun with it. Great. But there's a series of what do you call that? Series of activity that FICO score models and beyond look at while you are doing the activity with your credit card. So if you're swiping, and you feel as though that you can continue to swipe, it's gonna, you'll see doing your billing payments and cycles. So the statement closing date is will allow the consumer to see what is going to be the next month's bill. The statement closing date is the date the statement closed in order for you to see the next month's statement. The payment due date is exactly what it is. It's due normally 21 to 25 days after the statement date has been posted. And I know a lot of times we get it confused that, okay, we are able to make sure everything or some of it or some sort of activity is posted or on the account prior to certain dates. There's a series of things I want you to understand that accrues when you make a purchase, and it's called interest. A lot of times we feel as though, okay, let's pay off this credit card by a certain date, but you failed to pay off the interest. And if you have any questions while we are going over this, please place them in the chats, in the comment section. Again, I am using StreamYard. Anytime you get lost in this process, please place the comments in the StreamYard in the chat so I can see them as well. I will review Facebook as well to be able to answer as many questions as I can. Again, this is a safe space. This is a no judge free zone. Build yourself up authentically, and so you can understand the dynamics of credit overall. So I asked the question: is it best if you can spend the entire payment of the credit limit prior to the statement date? I said, let's have a conversation. So I already posed that question. So it's a series of, there's a series of, I done jumped out. There is a series of keywords I want you guys to pay attention to that's very important. I'm going to pull it up I have it on the screen so you guys can see, but I'm going to pull up on my end as well. Let me see something. All right, got it. So I'll be going back and forth. Perfect. I'm trying to blow my screen up because I can't see. So there are some key terms I want you guys to write down so you can have an understanding. One, what is an annual percentage rate for purchases? This clearly means the moment you make a purchase, interest begins to start. It accrues. The statement closing date is the date that you are allowed to see the next month's bill. The payment due date is also what it is the date that the payment is due, paying the interest on top of the purchase price of the item that you wanted to get. Late payments if the payment overall is not made on the payment date. Normally, when you make a payment, generally credit card users statement and with the lowest APR. So for instance, if you have a 16.5 or 3.5 APR with doing that purchase, they will apply the minimum payment on that purchase. Any payments above your minimum payment would generally be applied to the balance on your monthly statement. Again, if you're just coming in, make sure you put in the comments where you are tuning in from. Also, if you would like the slides sent to you, I will be sending to placement in the email, and I will send you the slides via email. Let me see. Where is mine? Okay. So the way I did this is I want to do it, I want to calculate this without losing the audience. First, we have to look at the average daily balance and how it's calculated. The average daily balance is basically, it's a period of days. And I selected the month December because we're currently in January. So to give you guys an idea, I calculated this from December 1st to December 31st. In this platform, I did two equations, but I would explain one, and then I will, discuss the rest, either during this live or send it to you so you can review it overall. So I also selected the credit limit of $2,000 because I want you guys to understand, even though that you have a credit limit, balance begins to accrue. That's the interest. So we want to moment you make purchases. Any questions so far before I go into this? Let me check Facebook. Hi, everyone that's tuning in. We are live on Credit Tip Tuesday. If you have any questions, please place them in the comments. If this is your first time you are tuning in, make sure you place in the comments where you're tuning in from. If you're watching the replay, please also place in the comments hashtag Credit Tip Tuesday replay. If you have a $2,000 balance, anybody that's watching, please get out a pen and piece of paper so you can follow this and so it can give you an idea. So the question again was posed, is it best to utilize your entire credit card limit as long as you make the payment prior to the statement closing date? There are two credit card companies that I did use, and that's Capital One and Chase. Their average daily balance and how it's calculated is on the credit card agreement. A lot of times we don't view this because we just look at the credit card and say, hey, we're approved. But then we fail at times because we feel as though if I purchase it, as long as I pay it off by a certain date, I will be good. $2,000 is the overall credit limit, and we're going to start from December 1st. So if you're coming in from November 30th to December 1st and you paid off your credit card in its entirety in the month of November, you come in December 1 with a zero balance. You have a $2,000 limit. On December 10th, you make a purchase of $981. Okay? $981 on December 10th. December 15th, you will make another payment of $275. I mean, a purchase, not a payment. Purchase of $275. On the 25th, you paid $2,000. Now, this is your entire credit limit. You paid $2,000. On December 27th, you made a purchase of $700. And on the 30th, you made a purchase of $44. If you total up $981, $275, $744, you will get the total amount that you have spent for $2,000. Your payment due date is on the 14th of December. Keep in mind, on the 25th, you paid $2,000. We can go on the next slide. Any questions so far? We good? Good. Let's keep going. Oh, excuse me, not on the 25th. You paid $2,000 on the 9th. My apologies. I didn't switch that over. So your purchase on the 15th was $200. Your purchase on the 10th, was $981. Your purchase on the 15th was $275. Your purchase on the 27th was $700. And your purchase on the 29th is $44. Your payment due date is on the 14th. You paid it on the 9th, not the 14th. My apologies. So the way you look at your average daily balance and how it's calculated per Chase and Capital One is the following. So the purchase on 981 on the 10th of December, from dates 1 through 10, you have to multiply $981 times 11, which will give you a figure of $10,791. And you're probably saying, why do I have to multiply 981 times 11? Because from the 0 to the 10th, you didn't have, you was at a zero balance. But the moment you made a purchase on the 10th, the interest began back from the 1st to the 10th. It shocked me too, but that's how they calculate it. So when you make the purchase on December the 10th of 981, the interest starts from now, the 1st to the 10th, because you are in a billing cycle. The purchase made on the 15th of $275. From the 10th to the 15th is 6 days. So you would take $275 times 6, and it would equate to $1,650. The purchase on the 27th, so from the 15th to the 27th, I have 11 days. I think it's 9, but 11 days, it's $7,700. From the 27th to the 31st, 44 times 3, you get $132. If you add up 11, 6, 11, and 3, that equals 31. If anybody can agree, please let me know. You place that in the comments. Let's see. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So if you add 11, 11, 6, and 3, you will get 31. We understand that you paid $2,000 on the 9th and your bill was due on the 14th. The way they do this is honestly fascinating because it allows you to look at your finances even deeper when it comes to utilizing your credit cards. So the way you get the average daily balance, first we get all the purchases together, counted by the days from each purchase, and then we total everything up. So if you get the new total of 1070, 10791, 1650, 7700, and 132, you would get 20,273. That number is to be divided by 31 because it's 31 days in a billing cycle in the month of December. Your average daily balance, regardless if you paid $2,000 in that month, is $653.967742. This is how, when the next statement comes out, it says your average daily balance is this amount, because the way your purchases are on the billing during the billing cycle is calculated in the algorithm with your spending, your utilization, and your resilience score according to FICO. The way you find your annual percentage rate when you make a purchase, so if Capital One and Chase, Credit One, Capital One, I use 16.5% because as I was researching this, that was mainly the average APR. So to get your daily interest rate on a purchase, you divide 16.5 over 12, and you would get, because there's 12 months in a year, you will get your daily rate of purchase is 1.375. When you look at your finances, when it comes to your credit utilization, it gets pretty intense and complicated. However, if you can understand the algorithms of FICO and how you spend far as behavior spending, this is how your scores are calculated with your utilization. It's very important that you notice, because a lot of times people will call and say, well, I paid my credit card off and my next month's bill had a payment of $45, $50 because you didn't pay the interest. The interest, regardless if you paid the limit, the amount of purchase, you must pay the interest. And the way you look at your interest is by the method. And we can go over this again. Anybody that's tuning in for the first time, please place in the comments where you are tuning in from. Any questions? Where you're tuning in from. If you're watching a replay, please place in the comments replay. Hashtag Credit Tip Tuesday replay, and thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. We are talking about statement closing date versus payment due date when it comes to credit cards. We are in the middle of the sections. However, if you have any questions, again, place them in the comments. We will answer them once we are completed. Let's see. Uh-oh. Okay. So when you look at it again, the purchase on December the 15th of $275. Remember, you made your payment on the 9th, which was due on the 14th, but we are still in the billing cycle. So the purchase on December 15th of 275, the purchase on the 27th of 700, and the purchase on the 29th of 44 rolled into the next billing cycle, even though you made the whole $2,000 payment on your card prior to the statement date, as many would say this. So if you do $744 of all the totals, because any purchase after the 14th will be included. So the next billing cycle, you will see that a $45.17 is owed because that's the interest of all your payments. So when we say, and I can attest to this, I will say pay your credit cards 5 days before the due date and 5 days after the statement date is not always true. Because if you going to exhaust the entire limit, you have to factor in the interest per purchase. The only way that you will be able to not accrue any interest is if you bought it that day, you literally will have to pay it that day, because the next day the interest begins. Again, if your car has a 16.5% annual rate, you'll have a 1.32% daily rate. And that continues over a 30 to 31 day cycle. Remember, the billing date, this statement closing date is nothing more that will allow you to see the following month's statement. The payment date is just that. Now, yes, you should pay your credit card 5 days before the due date, but the statement date and the payment date are not related. They're not related at all. If you max out $2,000, you need to pay back $2,000 plus some change, because the purchases you make after the payment and after the due date, even though the next billing cycle hasn't begun, it will now transition over, regardless if you paid the $2,000 in full. If you fail to pay the $45.17 and you continuously letting it go, so 1% can turn into 16% in a matter of months. So as I stated last week, it's not good to spend your entire limit on your credit card, especially if you don't know how to factor in the average daily balance, which will allow you to see the interest that continuously to accrue over a time cycle. So when you get a credit card, make sure you know the percentage annual rate. When you know you're going to spend it, make sure you follow the steps to see if I let this credit card pass a certain date. These are the amounts of interest that will be now on that purchase. A lot of times people say, oh, we have a grace period. You have a grace period to pay it. It's not the grace period that the interest will start. The interest starts the day the purchase is made, the day a cash withdrawal is made, the day if you ask for a cash advance on your credit card, whatever the case may be. The moment the transaction takes place, you begin to revolve the credit card. If you don't be a transactor, meaning pay the interest and the full amount off, the transactor now becomes a revolver. The revolver accrues interest. When you're able to pay your credit cards in full with the interest, you are now considered a transactor, and your credit line is possibility to go up and the interest will cease because you averaged it out and you understand the interest of it. The moment you want to leave in balance on the credit cards and become a revolver, $45.17 can turn into $90 18 cent and 180, and now you're a revolver, and your credit can decrease because not only have you accrued high interest, your debt to income ratio will go up along with your ability to obtain new lines of credit. So again, my recommendation, I would not spend the entire limit on the credit card because one, it factors into your behavior spending, which is also your resilience score on FICO. And it will also calculate within the billing cycle because FICO just don't look at the time you paid it. In the moment you paid it, it looks at how you revolve the card and decide either you're a transactor or you're a revolver. So that, overall is my take on it. I wasn't able to show you my slides last week, and I was very going crazy. And the goal is for you guys to understand not just obtaining the credit card, but utilizing it. So to go back over some things, it's not reasonable to spend your entire limit, only if you have to. But if you can manage your credit cards and build the foundation and understand credit utilization overall, it will grow, not only your mindset and how you look at money, but how you are not a revolver and a transactor. And if you want to look up those terms, and we can talk about that again another time, seeing how a transactor pays the entire amount of the credit card and a revolver always keeps something on the card. If you look up the two definitions, one, the revolver is likely to decrease in score and increase in debt to income ratio. Two, transactors are more so one that pays the entire balance along with the interest and understand utilization overall. And these are your people that are your, 700s, 720s, 800s, and so forth. I know many people in the 650s that are becoming transactors because they're understanding, how what it is to, credit card usage overall. The behavior spending on how you look at money is also factored in FICO's algorithm. That's why you have a series of scores. That's why you have a series of a resilient score. A resilient score is a score that will allow credit people, credit companies to see if you're worthy of credit. Are you able to overturn just in case we have a pandemic? Are you able to pay your bills? All these types of numbers are factored in the decision that's made to see, are you credit worthy? So we have to understand managing and understanding credit utilization overall is key, along with payment history, when to make your payments, how to look at your money, and how your spending is factored into this. Thank you for everybody that is tuning in. If you have any questions, concerns regarding what we spoke about tonight, please place them in the comments. If you have any questions regarding your personal credit, please place them in the comments as well. Again, this is a safe space. This is nothing for no one to be judged. A lot of people have watched me over the years and, grew their scores from 500s to 750s and never rendered my services. They literally go back and watch the videos. They put the due diligence in and they put the work in, and they know it takes time. Building your credit is a process. Credit restoration is very hard. It's a process. It's not something you can put inside of a software, mask it, and say, hey, we have solved your problem. If you don't go through the psychological barriers of how we look at money, you're going to continue to fail consumers with the quick fix, I can get you done statements. Credit and money is a mindset. It's a behavior mindset. It's the way how you can overturn if we have an economic crisis. It's how we manage money. It's how we look at things overall. Credit cards are not a door. They're not a swiper, no swiper. We get abundance of money It's not that we should blow it. Yes, we like to have fun, cases may be, but if you're trying to build relationship with higher limits of credit and larger lines of credit, and business owners trying to get the EIDL loan, PPP, different funding, you have to understand your credit and the way you view money and how you utilize it is part of the decision factor. Either yes, they're worthy of this line, or they're worthy of this grant, or they're worthy of this loan, or are they going to blow it and be a risk, and we're not going to waste our time. Please remember to tune in every Tuesday. If you have any questions, this is a safe space at all times. It's free when you come on here. Again, many people have increased in score over the 2.5 years, almost 3 years in March, yes, that we have been in business. I have made many homeowners, many people that got from lower limits of credit to larger limits of credit. We have built businesses. We have built 6 and 7 figure earners based on the information we put on the platform. Always remember, if you do it fast, you're going to do it wrong. Anytime you do it at a pace that you can fail and understand during the process, you'll never want to come back to this beginning stages again. So always look at that to say, how am I going to continue to educate myself, my children, anyone, if we're going to continue to go to companies that will put our information inside of a system and use software? When are we going to identify the pain points to say, I need financial help, behavior spending help, overall how I look at money? It's a process of elimination for growth. We can stop pipelines to prisons. We can stop police brutality. We can stop child diversity if we learn how to communicate with our finances. It is the root of the problem and the root of all evil. If we can't communicate when something's wrong when it comes to money, we will fail every time. Trust me, I've had my shares that I'm not able to communicate at times to say, you know what, I need to do X, Y, and Z. It took to a point that when I couldn't get anything to know I am losing everything. So I need to learn how to not only build it, but understand it and then utilize it. So again, this is a safe space, people. You come on here and you get help. You come on here and you learn the dynamics of credit. Go back and watch the videos if you can't afford services. There's someone on here right now, Veronica Linton. She has followed me from day one. Day one. I never physically met her in my life, and I could give her a virtual hug because it's times when I didn't want to come on and do Credit Tip Tuesday. She was the life that says, come on, we need you, got to come back. Because when you put people in homes and you're able to get them lines of credit authentically, not authorized trade lines, not putting your information in the system and using software, but when you can organically change the mindset of how people look at their credit and how they can educate others moving forward and change their mind on how they do things, you don't need to be my customer again. This is how my business grew the way it did due to marketing and word of mouth. When you sow into someone, you never have to sell your product. I sow into you guys, so I want you to know that if you can't afford services, tune in, ask the questions, share this. If you have a question or if I say something that you may not understand, please put the questions in the comments because that's what we're here for. Things are changing in the federal space in the way they're looking at credit. We're about to come into a cashless system. Money is not the end all be all. In 2025, $25 trillion will be spent on through the digital wallet. Money has nothing to do with it. It's the behaviors on how you look at money when it's not in front of you. You have to understand that as we build it ourselves, the government is changing. We will not have money and we won't have access to it. But we have to know your credit cards, your savings, the way you look, invest money is the way you will build yourself. Again, if this is the first time you are watching, please place in the comments where you're tuning in from. If you are have any questions, place them in the comments as well. If you are on, please share the live. And when you watch it, if you would like the slides that I created, you are more than welcome to. I want to tell you I appreciate each and every one of you. You can ask me questions from repossessions all the way to evictions. Student loans we'll get into. They are forgiving some things, but there are a lot of clauses. I am helping people with the EIDL loan reconsideration. If you find people that are taking money from the EIDL loan or, taking a percentage that's against the law, please be aware of that. And anybody that's telling you that I have trade lines for sale, be aware of that. When someone can mask your problem fast, you're going to end up coming back to see me anyway. If you can't afford the services, please watch the videos. Please ask the questions. I want you guys to grow. It's many people I never met before that went from 500s to 780s, and I never laid eyes on them physically. Veronica Linton is one of them. Never met the young lady a day in my life, and she literally have changed her life just by watching Credit Tip Tuesday. This process is never fast. This process is never fast. Trust me when I tell you, do the work. Do the work and become distinguished. Do the work and put the efforts in wanting to change. Do the work so you don't have to worry about being stressed. Is it easy? Absolutely not. I hate paying my credit cards every month. I'll be the first to tell you. I have 34 of them. I curse every month. Do I enjoy them? Sure I do. But I don't like them because guess what? The more I grow into this business, the more I'm learning about credit and its utilization. I literally sat down and read the credit card agreements between Capital One and Chase and said, Jesus, wait a minute, hold on. Paying a bill 5 days before the statement date means nothing. But if you pay it 5 days before the due date, if you're going to max out your credit cards and it's not wise, make sure you're able to educate how to factor in the balance, the percentage, the interest in the actual daily balance. I said it twice. Your daily balance, regardless if you paid your credit cards off, if you didn't pay the interest, you're still going to be considered a revolver. A revolver is one to increase interest that would decrease your score. A transactor understands the interest, the way you spend, because it's calculated through the algorithms. The way you spend your credit cards is reported. Even you don't think it's not. Veronica, I appreciate you more than life. You don't have no idea. I appreciate all my supporters, all of my team, my true loyal clients, those that love me, those that don't, doesn't matter. I'm still here for you. God bless you all. If you have questions, place them in the comments. Please do not be afraid to grow because it's so important that you have an idea on how utilize your credit cards and the way you look at money. I will be on next week. If you would like a specific topic to be discussed, please, I will place another poll up on my page, and Black Girls Have Good Credit Too. If you're not a part of that group, please make sure you join. If you want the slides, place them in the email, place your email in the comments, and we will send you the footage. Every week, I'm going to do a PowerPoint presentation so you guys can have this information. Teach it to your children. Implement it in your business. I don't care what you do with it. Just do it correctly so you don't fail people. That's all I ask. Love you always. I will see you guys next week. Hashtag Credit Tip Tuesday, the brand. I love you. And I will, again, share this information. Whoever wanted, place in the comments. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.